All right, folks, here we are for another session of Off the Grid. I wanted to welcome West Coast MC Bonnie Blue, an amazing lyricist and music recording artist based out of California. Super ill storyteller. I've told you time and time again, but how's it going?
Doing good. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know you just caught yourself a little game of golf and but good. Thanks for making time. Real quick, can you just give us a little background on yourself and tell us exactly where you call home in California and how long you've been making music?
Damn. So I'm currently residing in LA. I'm literally moving to Santa Cruz in a few days. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, I'm moving to Santa Cruz, but I've called LA home for the last 10 years. I grew up in Oxnard, California. Before that, I was in Kingman, Arizona, small truck stop town that most people never heard of. But that's where I started my physical journey in Oxnard and started making music about 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I released and traveled around the world, rocking mics and doing my thing. So
Yeah, that's super dope. I didn't realize you're moving to Santa Cruz. That's awesome. Is this for work or just trying somewhere new?
yeah, just change of pace. It worked out. I was ready to kind of just make a change. And a friend of mine, a musical collaborator, my friend Brenda, who plays guitar and I've worked with, had a room open up in her house, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna make the move, and also so we can continue working on what we've been working on. It's been a little difficult because she's up there and I'm down in LA, but now we get to live with each other and continue our musical journey. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm excited for you. I spent a couple years out there, so super dope. Hey, with that, so you've been around for 12 years. Who were your major musical influences? Who really had you hanging on every word in terms of hip hop?
In terms of hip hop, I would say like back in the day, Travis,
Yo.
Nas, and Eminem definitely was a big influence too. My sister, I have two older sisters, and one of my sisters was married to someone that was really into underground hip hop and
Yeah.
introduced me to a lot of different MCs, Khalid Ali and F. But yeah, there's fuck. It's hard because there's so
Yeah,
many.
it's probably not a fair question to ask, but okay. What about other music? Do you have other genres that you really like aside from hip hop, or is it just straight hip hop? What kind of music do
Yeah,
you like?
I mean, I grew up listening to punk and jazz. My mother was a singer, so she introduced me to a lot of different jazz music and experimental stuff. Bjork was one of her favorite artists, so I was definitely introduced to different things through that. And punk rock was definitely a big influence on my life. No Effects and
Yeah.
Descendant.
No, that's super dope. And I told you before we were doing this, just your storytelling ability is very good, and your ability to draw emotion in what you write is very good. And so, when you were developing your style, was there anybody that you were kind of trying to copy, or just kind of steal tips from, or was that just naturally the way you were?
I don't. I definitely don't think I was ever trying to like copy anybody. I've had enough things that I in my own life, and I started writing at a really young age, drawing inspiration that I was going through. So that was definitely a big part of what made me an artist. That like I just drew from what I was going through, and I never wanted to like be like anybody else. I just
Yeah.
wanted to create from my own life and
Yeah.
be, you know, be my own artist through like my biggest inspiration is literally my own life.
I love
Through
it.
the and everything, like I draw inspiration from things that I've been through, try to transmute like the pain and you know, the good and the bad and the ugly. I try to just transmute all of that through my art and my music.
Yeah, I think you do a good job of that. And you're right, nothing beats real life experiences. So, yeah, very, very clear in your writing for songs. It's so awesome. What about just in general? So, I think first, let me caveat it by saying that I think if you're dope, you're dope, right? So, but, you know, just in this business, were there any major challenges that you had to overcome as a female? So, was it difficult being an MC and breaking into that world as a female, or no, or you didn't really experience any of that?
I mean, the biggest challenges as a female is really just dealing, like, you know, a part of it is like as a female, you deal with men that are like putting on front of
Yeah,
want to like work with you or, you know, make things happen, but really they're fuck.
yeah,
That's just like, that's probably the biggest challenge, which I feel like I haven't like dealt with as much, like as an artist. If people know me or they've seen me perform and they're familiar with my music, they know that like I kind of just, you know, I say shit how it is, and I put on, you know, it's like the things that I talk about isn't necessarily the type of vibe that would put out that that's
yeah,
what I'm trying to do at all. It's like I'm, you know,
yeah,
I would say more intimidating to men than the other.
yeah,
But that is just like the you know, it's just something that as a woman you have to deal with, whether it's in music or in anything, any male dominated industry. As a woman to it, it's really just the fact of having to really work for the respect that you get.
yeah,
It's prove yourself and have
yeah,
to, you're not just a pretty face, you
yeah,
know, you're really trying to make something of yourself, or you're trying to make something of the art form.
yeah.
um, yeah, that's,
Yeah, yeah, I think you definitely hold your own, and yeah, I can see that. You got to deal with the ego, and I guess it comes with the music that we do. So with that, hey, so what's up with let's hear the story behind your MC name. So Bonnie Blue, and I know you got a couple aliases that you've used or I've seen. Can you talk to me real quick about how that came about, how you ended up choosing Bonnie Blue and some of the other names you use?
sure. So Bonnie Blue is my actual name. It's my first and middle name.
Oh shit, crazy. All right.
I That's Bonnie Blue. That's just my government name.
Oh, I didn't think. Oh, okay.
So that's, you know, that's the first one, and then Bonnie Savage is my first and last name. My last name is not Savage, but my father's last name is Savage, so Bonnie Savage comes from that. And
Oh, dang.
which Bonnie Savage, the character, really is meant to represent my shadow or my dark side or my savage side. That's where that came from. And then I also have Bunny Saiko, which that was born a couple years ago. And basically, Bunny Saiko is meant to kind of represent my inner child,
Yeah.
and the kind of spirit animal of who I am, which is
Oh,
psychotic bunny.
I love it. Yeah, I wasn't sure. And so the way you spell it too, I was like, is she talking about, is she have Japanese or I wasn't sure, right? And so that's why I'd asked you. I said,
In 2019, I did a world tour with an artist named Meganoki and went to Tokyo, Japan for one of our, or we did a few shows there as a part of the tour, and the
oh,
that put the tour together was called Psycho Arts and Innovation, and he
okay.
spelled it Saiko, and
Okay.
that is definitely where I got it from. I the bunny part was
Yeah.
born in the tour, and then the Psycho came from Psycho Arts and Innovation, which was one of the sponsors of the tour.
Yo, that's funny too. And you know, Asian folks, when we find out folks are part Asian, we start claiming y'all, man. So that's that's funny. So awesome. Thanks.
I heard my entire life, like people think I'm Asian all the time, but when I went to Asia, nobody thought
not the case.
Asian to people that are not actually in Asia.
Yeah, I was getting ready to claim you. I was like, yo, that's right. We got another dope Asian MC killing it. So that's pretty funny. Thank you for the background on that. And so you're from LA in Southern California. It's one of the most, I think, awesomest hip hop movements worldwide. And so a very tough area to MC to and get your start. But from your perspective, what was the movement like? What was the network? Was everybody pretty friendly, or just it was a hard grind?
Well, I started in Oxnard. That's really where I started, and Oxnard has a really rich history of hip hop and punk. Okay. And when I was a teenager there, I was around musicians all the time, and when I moved from Arizona to Oxnard, one of the first people that I met, my friends, was a producer there for the local underground hip hop scene. I was introduced to it early on. I didn't like. I was like a fly on the wall in the studio for so long. Never thought that I would be an MC or a rapper. That wasn't like my goal at any time, but I loved writing, and I really always loved and respected the culture of hip hop, and I was around it so much that eventually it just kind of became a part of what I was doing. But when I started, I started doing shows in 2012. Okay. I moved to LA in 2013, and I was actually homeless for a year in the beginning of my journey, and I did hundreds of shows in that year, and I connected with a lot of artists, and there was a lot of different things going on. Like there was a lot of different things that kind of popped off at that time around a lot of artists that were popping, and it was definitely, its own journey and experience. And there is a place where, people make a name for themselves, but it's not, there's a lot of competition, and it's not an easy to, it's not an easy place to start at all. It's not an easy place to get into, even especially as like underground hip hop or independent hip hop. Like it's not, you can't like fake the funk with that.
No, not at all.
You have to be genuine, and you have to actually bring something to the culture. And I would never want to be a part of it if I wasn't doing that, because I respect and love the culture. That like I would only ever want to know that I was like contributing positively to the culture. Like I don't want to do anything other than that. So it wasn't an easy journey, but I feel like I was embraced in a lot of ways, and I just did the work, like I hundreds of shows. I met a lot of people through that in my first couple years, and there wasn't anything easy about it, because I had to show up and do the work to do it, but I was embraced because of that, because people knew that I was doing that work, and people knew that like I was showing up to contribute to the culture. I wasn't just phoning it in, like I wasn't just like and also like I really feel like people understood that I wasn't just trying to be something that I wasn't. Like I just do what I do, and I show up as what I am, and that's what it is. Like I'm not ever trying to like be something I'm not,
Yeah, and I feel like your music is very full of substance too, so super dope. And so you've been in the game for a minute, and so you've seen hip hop evolve as it does normally, right? And so Do you like a lot of the new stuff that's coming out? Or are you stuck like one of those kids that are stuck in the 90s? Or, you know, it seems to me that you have a wide spectrum of taste, yeah.
I love it all. Like, I think that there's obviously classic music. I also like, as a person that has literally traveled the world and done shows all around the world with independent artists, like, there's incredible everywhere, and a lot of it is not popular, and a lot, like, there's so many artists everywhere. Like, every city that I've ever gone to, there's incredible artists, and they have, you know, it's like, I have a huge following. Not a lot of people listen to their music, but they're literally incredible. So I've seen it firsthand, so I appreciate the art form of music, and I know that there's incredible music at all times everywhere, whether people realize it or not. There's always incredible music and art being made, whether pay attention to it or not.
Yeah, awesome. Well, good deal. Yep, I think it's great just to have all those different kind of styles. And again, like you said, it'd be boring if it was just one way, right? So super dope. With that, I did a bunch of listening to your albums, and I wanted to just kind of deep dive on some of them. So I wanted to start with your 2019 album, All Things Considered. Was that your first full album?
That was my first full album, and it was only uploaded in 2019, but I actually released that in 2014.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Dope. And so, so I picked a couple songs. So I wanted to start with the intro, Fucked Up, spoken word. So I think you're very good at spoken word. And I was talking to my buddy who does, he's actually trying spoken word right now. And I tried it too. It's super difficult, right? You don't have a beat to protect yourself. And my buddy was like, man, you better fucking say some punchy shit like every 2 bars, or the crowd's gonna be tough and not give a fucking boo you off. And so what are your thoughts in terms of like the difference between spoken word and emceeing?
I started with word, and I love, like, I love poetry. I've been writing since for the early childhood memories that I have. I was writing poetry and short stories, and I love spoken word. Like, I definitely, there's not, to me, like, it's not far off from rapping. It's like, you're telling stories, you're putting, you know, it's wordplay. It's all wordplay. So you're not, like, it's not far off. It's very similar, but you're at, like, when you do spoken word, you don't have a beat to fall on
or protect
off either. So it's like,
that's true.
In a way where it's like you're just speaking, and you can kind of create your own patterns through just speaking. Whereas if you have to kind of keep to a certain, you know, rhythm or cadence. But I love spoken word. I will always.
I'm glad you integrated.
You've listened to my album, so you know that it's like that will always. It's always what I do, because it's the, you know, it's the basis of what I started from. So it will always be a part of my art form.
Yeah, I love it. And like, you know, when you rap, you got a couple lines that you can kind of throw away, but and you can play it off, right? The beat covers it up, but you got to come straight for every line. Spoken where they hear everything. So I was like, damn, this shit's kind of hard, but super dope. I love it. And that first track was dope. When you think you can't get worse, remember, for what it's worth, we are all fucked up and we're all hurt. Got to push through the pain to make it work to our advantage. It's dope, man. I love it. A lot of quotables from that. And just do what you love. I never praise below, or I never praise above. Never grew up with religion, only love, right? So dope. Storytelling at its finest. I love it.
Thank you.
It's so I kept, and dopeness just goes on, right? So I picked Massive Attack, which there was a Cypher Effect video that you did, right? You performed it. There's some guy chilling on the couch, and I couldn't believe he wasn't like bobbing while you're rapping that. That was pretty funny, but he's like, damn, she's fucking killing it. He's just chilling on the couch, but I'm sure it was by design. But again, dope, right? Fuck fame. I'd rather have a cult following, and I could see that, you know, in the way that you carry yourself. in the way that you deliver your music. And again, a lot of quotables. Just when you thought you figured who you are, skeletons in the closet appear from the dark, appear from afar, take me out large like monsters and where the wild things are. I was like, God damn, she can write. Like, you need to put like, I love it when MCs like put their lyrics like in a book. I don't know if you've ever done that, but just.
But I'm definitely working on it because
Yeah.
I'm definitely.
Yeah, and so that was good storytelling, and the hook was dope too. Come in with the massive attack, you ain't ready, so you overreact to the memories. My tendency to speak my mind finds me in trouble sometimes, but I don't let them get the best of me. Yeah, so I love it, right? It is yeah, Bonnie Blues all live on the wild side. I love it though. But it was the video was dope, and the song was sick. And it just keep goes, it continues, right? So the dopeness. And then just a couple ones that I handpicked were Bonnie Blue. So this is a dope song that I would love to see you perform live. The hook was dope too, right? And so before I continue with the album, just what was going through your mind when you were putting this album together in 2014? Was it just was there a plan to put out an album, or were these a collection of songs?
So so in 2012, I won an award at the airline that was for solo female MC for Urban Underground. It was like a show that they used to put together, Urban Underground. It was every Friday night, and they had like, it was the dopest hip hop show, had award shows, and I won. I won the best solo female MC, and I didn't have an album out at all.
Oh.
Rude. And I didn't. So when I first started, it was like a year and a half where I was just rocking shows, like kind of on some punk rock shit. Like I didn't really have to put it on an album. I was literally just rocking shows and doing the thing. And when I won that award, Abstract Rude messaged me and was like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Oh shit, that's fucking sick.
He was like, "Why did you win this award? Like, where can I listen to your music?"
No.
And I was like, "You can't." I literally at that point had no music online at all.
That's fucking crazy.
And him kind of coming at me in that way, I was like, "Fuck, I need to put some music out." Like and at that point, I've been rocking shows for like a year, and people were asking me like, "Where can I listen to your music and stuff?" So I finally was like, okay, let me put some shit together. I had been recording and kind of, a little bit playing with things, but really when I put the album together, it was more so a collection of things that I started with like I had multiple, I think, projects in mind. And then when I decided to put the album together, it was like multiple songs from different projects that I was like working on. Yeah. That's kind of things considered too, because it was like, all right.
Oh, I got it.
Together.
That makes sense. Okay.
But Fucked Up was literally the first rap that I ever wrote. And I wrote it over a beat originally in the studio, but I didn't end up doing the song to it or whatever. So that's what Fucked Up was. And okay. Bonnie Blue was literally the first like hip hop song that I wrote. And I'm super proud of it. Like I love that song.
The hook is dope. The hook is dope. Do you know who I am, Bonnie Blue? Oh man, just it's a good call and response track, right?
Yeah. I originally didn't write it that way. And the first show that I ever did, I did that song, and I said, "Do you know who I am?" And the crowd said Bonnie Blue.
Oh shit, that's dope.
Yeah, that's why it became that way. But I totally had something else written for that song. Like it was like, "Do you know who I am?" And then I said something else, but the ever performed it, that's what happened. So that's why it became the way that it is.
Oh
But that,
shit, that's crazy.
yeah, that was the first like hip hop song I feel like that I really wrote, and I just started getting beats. I had beats from different people through doing shows and meeting
Yeah.
people, and I just started kind of slowly putting things together, and I had songs that I had been performing already for like a year, so I was recording those. And then in the process I record all things considered, I recorded all myself. Like I actually recorded myself the whole time.
Yeah.
And the process of starting it, I wrote additional songs. Like Since You've Been Gone, I wrote during the Massive Attack actually was another one that I wrote in the process of recording the album. So
Oh
it
wow.
was really like organic and creative process.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, with the story of why it's called All Things Considered, it's a dope storyline, and I like how it came together. And so the next track I picked was the song "Home" that you did. Wherever I go, I remember home. Wherever I roam, I remember home. And so what I noticed about not just this song, but all your songs, you reference your mom and dad a lot too, right? And so, yeah, I love it. Like lyrics, right? I love my mom because she sang the blues so beautifully and introduced me to ideas that were new to me. And so, just yeah, I just I really picked that up. And so I like how you draw from your parents, and then you mention them a lot too, right? And so I like that. And so the song was really dope. And I've told you again that you just draw emotion very, very good, right? And so, yeah, and then again to continue that line, like I can be whatever, and I can touch the sky, roll with the wind, and sing in the night. And so I could tell the relationship was super deep. And so, do you quickly just want to talk to me just about putting that song together?
So Home was produced by um Ilim, who was the producer. I was in a group called Bushwall Junkies, the lead of the project that we did together, but Bush is was entirely produced by Ilim, and then he produced Home, Since You've Been Gone,
Yep.
and Blue
Okay.
on. So Home was real. Like I wrote the hook before anything,
Nice.
and I wrote the hook, and then it just I had the I just had the verse kind of. It
Yeah.
was like a style almost. Like I had the beat, I wrote the hook,
Sure.
and first I just
Yeah.
I just went. And my homie Namek, who's on
Yeah.
the second,
That's right.
he's the first person that I ever recorded with. I did like a random hook on one of his songs
Yeah.
like years ago.
Uh
Before
huh.
I was actually doing anything of my own, I recorded a version of him, and so it
Nice.
was really cool to have him on a song with me. But um yeah, my mom is a singer, my dad is a writer. Rest in peace to my father, he passed away
Yeah.
last year. um he's a writer, he was a poet and an artist and a painter, and my mother singer and a painter. Like they're both artists, and
Yeah.
I now for sure at this point too, it's like I'm so much of both of them, and I want to like show that and talk about that, and it means so much to me to acknowledge that, because it's like obviously I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them, and
Yeah.
proud of that. I'm proud that like I'm so much of my mother and father, and
Yeah.
they made me like this dope person. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
oh
them lyrics hit hard. Yeah, got me reflecting when I listened to those songs. I'm like, damn, dude, shit's yeah, I'm feeling it. So well done. Yeah, and I love it. And so yeah, no, it's dope. And for the I guess the remaining tracks, I picked out Addict, which was another spoken word piece that you have on that album, Epitome of an Addict. Try to fill the void with the one thing that created it. Damn, just one more hit and I'll be over it. I was like, fuck, dude. You ain't lying. That's you really do think that, right? Yeah, when you're addicted to something, and so yeah, and so What do you think? What was kind of going through your mind when you put that song together?
So I was originally I did that verse over a cover, like a he's like a redheaded artist. He's like literally one of the big Ed Sheeran.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ed Sheeran's song, whoops. Ed Sheeran has a song called fuck. I don't remember the name of the song.
That's all good. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It's like A plus or something. But my friend that I used to live with, that's a singer and musician. He covered that song by Ed Sheeran, and
Okay.
we covered it, and I did a verse included in his cover, and was the verse from the song that I did with him.
Oh,
But
wow.
because cover and whatever, like we didn't end up putting it out, and I didn't use it on the album, but I just put it on the album as a spoken word piece because I really loved it. Like I've definitely like just I resonate with everything that I say in that, and I've dealt with, and I always want to talk about things that I've been through and try and put things into perspective so that people can relate to it in a really simple way, and in a really like artistic way too.
Yeah, I think you're very, very good at that too, and and you do have an art side to you too as well. I've seen a couple videos that have like you can tell they were select backgrounds for some reason. And so probably a good example of that is a video that you did for the song On the Edge, where you recorded it in the hallway in Vegas, right? And so I know you saw it, you had a vision, and then you went back and recorded the video, right? How was the making of that video? Were there people walking back and forth? I noticed you got it like solo, but did that take forever?
It's like I spent so much time in that hallway. Like the first time I used to go to that hotel frequently for work.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever went up there, I was like, this place is amazing. And every time I would go up there and I would write, and like I would just go chill up there. And for the most part, they would once in a while they would be having events, so people would like out the banquet rooms, but for the most part nobody was ever up there. Like it was empty, so it was just like an day. And when we shot the video, nobody was there. Like it was our like it was our playground. And it was the first time I went there, literally was like, I need to shoot a video here.
I'm glad you did. It was super dope. Turned out really cool.
Years later that I finally was like, all right, we're doing this. Like, let's shoot.
Yeah. Do you do your own film work too? Or do you cut your own film?
Shout out to Muds. He filmed that one. He flew out from LA and
oh wow,
he filmed it, and then we went to the strip club afterwards.
That's the best way to celebrate. All right, cool. Well, good. Hey, so that was All Things Considered that you recorded. I'll correct myself, in 2014. Super dope introduction to your music. And then I jumped into your next album that was online, Outrageous Acts of Silence. Says that it was released in 2022. Is that correct? Or was it? Okay. Dope. And so who did the production for that album? Was it a mix of producers or?
The producers, Lex, let's see, I'm trying to think of, Kaiser did Do Better. Kaiser, let's see, what else? Unlearn the World.
Oh, wow. Yeah. From the Bay. Yep.
From the OC is on there. Let's see, I'm trying to think of the tracks. Peace of Mind.
Yeah, I don't want you to miss anybody. So yeah, it's a bunch of people, right? Yeah. And then they're gonna get mad and come back and you forget to mention their name.
Well, the first is me, Danny Zico.
Yeah.
Let's see. Storms. Oh, JXB from Oxnard, but he now lives in the Bay.
Yeah.
That was a big. Let's see. Come over here. You're trying.
What up? What's going on? I love it, dude. Hey, he's key to this interview. He's supplying you the drinks, right? So, yes. Cheers, my man. I love it.
Oh, so let's see. Storms, Peace of Mind. Darkness Looming. I think I said them all. Said them all.
Yeah, it was a dope collection of songs too. And again, you started with spoken word politics, right? So when you think of history, you can see the truth behind the wall. We are all Berlin, and it's time to let them fall and let their intentions be known. Oh, awesome. So then I jumped into Wild Card, which I think this one was a good display of the way that your delivery, right? You were flipping the style double time, and the way you were flicking words. I just like your delivery there, and I was like, showcased your ability to flip different styles. Super dope. Lyrics were ill again. I'm out to be the best me in every dimension, traveling the world as I continue ascending. I'm rising up like a phoenix in the lotus flower. I came from the dirt and the mud. That's how I notice cowards. Fuck, that was fucking sick. Fucking sick.
I'll tell you this. Wild Card is a collection of verses from other things that didn't happen. So
okay.
The first piece of from a cipher I wrote for a cipher that I didn't end up doing because I wrote like the first part of it is like probably 24 bars, I think, and the cipher was like it has to be 16 bars. And I tried to do that and like out, but ultimately I was like, I don't want to do it because I can't make it work. Yeah. So I didn't do that. And then the second and third verse are verses from songs that were features that didn't happen. Shit. Literally like just a collection of things from other shit and really Wild Card I did a mic check with Cypher Effect for Wild Card last year. Okay. And when JDS hit me up to do the mic check, I did not have a song prepared. Oh, shit. I was like, he want to do a mic check? I was like, fuck yeah, I do. Like, fuck it, let's do it. And I didn't like have anything prepared. And like before we were filming, I put Wild Card together. Like I just randomly was like going through beats that I had and going through verses and whatever. And that's literally how Wild Card was born because like, I was like under pressure. Like I need to put some shit together for the mic. And I just started playing beats. And then I knew I had the first verse. I knew I was like, oh, I want to use this for something. Yeah. And then the beat that fitted and I started the first verse and then the second and third verse like fit with somehow, even though it's crazy because the second and third verse were on such totally different songs, but when we put it together and they all seemed to fit, and then I did the mic check and it all fit together somehow. Like that's how it came together. Really, it was really random, but
yeah. The chaos for perfection. And so I see you use Wild Card too, and I thought that was another alias that you used for some reason, but it's not, right? So it's just a song, which is a hodgepodge of verses. Okay, I got it. Cool. And then again, I told you this album was a good display of the way that you can change up your style and so do better that you did with Ill Enough. You were doing some triple and double time shit. I was like, man, you got skills. And then you had that like slightly singing intro. And so I was like, man, just again, so I'm a fan of your work and just the way that you can change up at any given notice, right? And I've been waiting for the time to tell you I don't really give a fuck. I'm going up. People always trying to hold me down. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So really dope. Yeah, yeah, definitely. A lot of homework that I did in your music, and I really appreciated it. Right, that's why I think you need a book. But with that, hey,
We will have a book. That's a
yeah,
really love that because so ill and I met last February at a
okay,
show, but we didn't start working together. He started doing camera work for me last September,
okay,
and the trip that we took together was to Mexico City, and we went to Mexico
hey,
City with and one morning we were all hanging out. My friend Brenda plays guitar, and we were all like chilling, freestyling, just jamming. And he did that verse, the on Do Better. He like freestyled that verse one morning, and I happened to be recording it, and I didn't like do anything with it or whatever. Like it was just in my
oh,
camera. Like a month later, I told him like, because Do Better was a really late addition to my album. It was
okay,
a like while I was already in the process, and I told him like I want you on this track. And then
yeah,
when I saw the video of him doing that verse with my friend Brenda while she was playing guitar, and I sent it
yep,
to him, and is this verse like available? Like, is this something that you already had? Like, is this from a song?
yeah.
And
Let me use it. Yeah,
verse written that's not, it's open, it's available. Like, I don't have it on anything. And I told him, like, I want that verse
yeah.
on this
No,
out, which I love.
yeah, I love it. It was good. Again, just a great display of what you're capable of. And then again, that was probably the first time I heard you sing, and you do it again on "Lost My Mind," where you're flipping your style again, and then you sing a little bit, and then your crazy inflections. So definitely very versatile. And then here's probably my favorite joint on the album was the "Polly in My Pocket." The PIMP track was my dope song. Yep, the bitches try playing me, but I keep it in the pocket. Throw away the key like I lost it. Mine is still amazed. You can't walk it. Mile in my shoes, you get nauseous. Woo. Yeah, that was yeah, and the right hook swing. Oh man, that was a great track. What was
That is,
going on?
I am very fucking, I love that. And I'm very, that was like the one, I think that was the last addition to the album because Unlearn the World produced that. And I went to the
Nice.
studio like a couple weeks before the album was coming out. We were in the studio and he gave me a pack of beats, and I was like, fuck, I really want to like do something, but I was
Yeah.
like so close to the album coming out, and I just put that together. And
Wow.
I fucking love that shit because that
Good.
is so proud of that too, because it's literally it's one take all the way through, like the
Damn.
way that it is on the track, and it was just like I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good song. I'm glad it made it right. And there were a bunch of songs.
I like I love acronyms. So like Polly in My Pocket and
Yep.
Pimp in that, like I just yeah, I love that shit. It's probably
Yeah.
the track I've ever done, but I love that shit too.
You're very good on the spot. Is what I'm getting. So that's awesome. You're good under pressure. Good. Pimp was dope. One of my favorite songs. And then again, just a bunch of stuff I love, man. Bridesmaid. Always a bridesmaid. Never be a bride because the bitch got too much pride. Never be a role model. Always play a role because the bitch always got something on the side. Oh man, that was good. And the beat was super dope. It sounded like a Pharrell beat, Neptunish kind of beat. And so that song was pretty sick too as well. And so any special stories attached to that song?
So Bridesmaid, I for that without a beat. Randomly, I have a bridesmaid like robe from my
Uh-huh.
and I was randomly like in the bathroom wearing my bridesmaid robe, and I wrote that hook like 3 years ago and didn't like, like just kind of fucking shelved it. And then
Oh wow.
I eventually got the beat for it from Lex, who he produced Lost My Mind Again,
Yep.
produced Bridesmaids, and he produced He produced one other fucking song on the album. I don't know. Fuck, I'll remember.
Yeah.
I eventually like played the beat, like lost my mind again, and Wild Card.
Okay.
During the just lost my mind on Wild Card and Bridesmaids. And during the process of putting Wild Card together, while I was like going through beats trying to figure out what I was gonna do for the cypher effects, I discovered the beat for Bridesmaids, and I was like, wait, this actually fucking works. Like, yeah. And then I wrote the verses for it. I just had fun with that. Like, that's one of my favorite. Like, I just had so much fun writing that, and like, there's some lines in there that are so stupid that are just like fun, but like, I think overall it's such a good song. And the end of it where the girl is talking, like the sample of the girl talking at the end, is actually my friend. She was literally talking shit on her story on Instagram stories one day,
and I
really want to use that, and she was like, yeah, fuck it. So she sent it to me at the end of it where it's like, I'm not the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I'm not none of them. You know, like, she's literally, that was literally her. Like, she's amazing, and she just talks shit on her stories all the time. And that was literally her. So it wasn't for the song. It was literally just her talking shit, and I thought it fits so perfectly, and it really does. So
yeah,
it was just a fun song. Like, it's you know, it's kind of ridiculous, and there's some lines in it that are kind of stupid, but but it was just fun. Like,
it works.
And I only have a treatment written for it, and I can't wait to shoot the music video because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sick. Well, hey, the fun continues to bleed in your song called Friendship, right? Where you did the pirate intro about friendship. And I thought that was fucking hilarious too, right? Because it depends on the friendship, because a friend could be a friend and still end shit. But that was dope. Yeah, I mean, just I could tell you guys have fun when you make music, and the sense of humor is on point.
Yeah, that wasn't even supposed to, like, that was literally supposed to just be a spoken word piece, but which that is a song that it was a verse from a song again that didn't get done and didn't get put out, so I used it as a spoken word piece. But the beginning of that,
funny,
like fucking around doing the voice, like I didn't even know, first I didn't know it was recording, but I did it, and then I realized it was recording, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking use that. Like, that is a representation of how I like to have fun in the studio. And for sure, my engineer Danny, like, we just have fun in the studio, and we go fuck around, and it says, like, the topics may be at any given time, and as serious as like the things that we go through, like, I want to have fun with this. Like, we're you know, we're creating shit.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. That was super fun, and I like it. You just did. It gives you an idea of what kind of person you are, and so that was very indicative of just you being a fun person. And you had some really choice lines in there too. I love when you say, "I'm still Bella in the Beast," right? And I was like, "God damn, that's hard," right? And then she loved you better when she had no choice. You love her better when she had no voice. Like, damn, it's that shit like people tattoo on their freaking arm and shit, right? So very, very
like, that is one of my favorite lines ever that I've ever written.
Yeah, that's some tattoo that shit on your arm shit.
A voice. Ooh.
Yeah, I can see hand snappers while you're performing that live for sure. So super cool. I like it. And then Darkness Looming, I liked a lot. And Peace of Mind, you talked about it by Danny Saiko, featured on it. Hollow Visions. You got to put your hours in if you're trying to win for your next of kin. Word, right? Take your time. Don't be afraid to walk away. I've got peace of mind, so I can see when you're trying to do your thing. It's okay to go alone and do it unafraid, right? And so I love the message behind that. All right. So went down, further the album. Don't Go, which I thought was another introspective track. And again, another display of your ability to bounce back between rap and singing. And then I know you were fake crying, but you pulled us in the end too, drawing emotion with that. That was real?
That was not fake.
That was real? What the fuck? Oh shit! I thought it was just for the song. I was like, dude, she sounds fucking sad as shit. Like, oh man.
I was
Whoa.
really crying.
Oh my. Oh man. Well, it worked. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
That's very interesting because I literally have never thought that someone would think that was fake until now.
I didn't be were you just recording in the studio and just
No, that was a note.
Okay.
It was a voice note, and I was really crying.
Got it. Oh, I see. Oh man, I totally thought it was part of the song. Holy shit, that's amazing. Shoot. Okay. Well, hey, it's dope.
Don't Go was actually a very late addition to the album too.
Okay.
Don't Pocket. I don't know what was last, but those two things were like super late additions to the album. DJ Zoll produced Don't Go, and he sent me a pack of beats. He literally messaged me because I started talking about the fact that I was releasing an album. He messaged me, when's your album coming out?
Yeah.
And he was like, I got beats for you. So he sent me a pack of beats, and I was like, fuck it. If something hits, then it. And Don't Go, I literally put on and I immediately sang the Don't Go part.
Okay.
Like, don't go.
Yeah.
Immediately. Like that just came to me immediately, and then the rest of the song came to me very, very quickly.
Wow.
And the end is, it's not, I'm really fucking crying, but it's a voice.
Shit.
I was at home alone and I'm crying, and I recorded the voice note and then we put it on the track.
Wow. Well, I thank you for being an open book and just sharing, true experiences. So again, just another track I felt, and I was like, man, she got me really good. When I thought you were faking, I was like, whoa, that's fucking deep, man. And so it's not a good surprise, but okay, it makes sense now. It's real. Holy cow. So dope. Props to you for another dope track. And so I'll close just a discussion of this album with, I told you it was my favorite track, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, which is also a late addition to the album, you had told me when we were talking before the interview, right? I love the beat too. Holy shit. Who produced that one?
Can't Stop, Won't Stop is, holy shit.
Oh man, I got to give the producer props because he was so sick on this one.
My God, I'm fucking blanking.
And we'll figure it out later, but that beat was sick. So, all right.
What the fuck is his name? Oh my God, I feel so terrible. Can't Stop, Won't Stop is the first song that I wrote after releasing All Things Considered.
Oh,
I
wow.
wrote Stop at the end of 2014.
Oh shit! And it didn't get on the album till then. Wow.
It's so old, and I didn't, like, it's such a process with that song. Like, I've performed it over the years and people always really love it, but I never could feel comfortable with the recording of it. Like, I did try and start it, but I don't know. I just always couldn't figure out how it needed to be recorded, but I loved performing. And finally, we were working on the album, and when I was talking about the album, people were literally asking me, like, is Can't Stop, Won't Stop on it? Like, I'm finally.
Well, yeah.
Oh, like, I'm not like that. No, that's not a part of it. And then at the end, it was like, all right, fuck it, let me record it. And Danny,
okay,
was like, why don't you just record it like you're performing it? Like, why don't you just, like, however you feel comfortable, just performing? Because I love performing it, but recording it song just never I don't know, it just never felt comfortable to me. But he was like, just record it like you're performing it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And luckily it came out in a way where I felt comfortable including it in the album. But yeah, it was never meant to be a part of it. It just
it's crazy.
Songs and now even still that I put it out, you know, it's literally people's favorite song, and it's so funny because it's like a throwaway track to me.
That's right. That's right.
So funny how like you think that things are whatever they are, but whatever people, you know, stays with them, and that it's how that happens. Like you, as an artist, you think that like what you think is great or whatever, because everybody has their own style, and everybody has their own, you know, interpretation of things, and different people they love, and it's always such a crazy surprise to go through that process too. Like the tracks that I really talk about, and the tracks that like I fucking love this, and yes, like I literally didn't even want to record that.
I know. I agree with you. Yeah, I go through every album and I'm like, yo, this is the fucking banger for sure. This is it, right? And nobody will give a fuck about that song. And some song, like you said, was the throwaway track. Or like my producer was like, I produced this and can you put it on the album? I'm like, okay, we'll put it on. And it tends to be like people's favorite shit. I'm like, I won't say the name of the song because I'm like, fuck, I hate this song. But yeah, I feel you all the way. All right. Hey, so Can't Stop, Won't Stop, dope. I just want to mention that that's on my playlist every morning when I go to work. Super dope. Sleeping on the couch again, wondering where I am and where the next stop is. Too many people live with too many. And you told me that was like during a period of time when you were homeless for a little bit, right? And so that even meant more to me when I found out now that it was just a real story. And so I'm glad that your boy got you to put that song down.
I mean, that track is really such a stream of consciousness. It wasn't even like it that track really is like a freestyle. Like I put on that beat and I just it was a freestyle of what I was going through in my life. I did work in the corporate world. I went to underground hip hop, like sleeping on couches. I've been severely depressed. I've wanted to fucking take my own life. Stayed because of, you know, people that I love, and there's different. That's like every part of that is just a stream of consciousness. It's not even, and maybe that's why maybe that's why to me I'm like, oh my god, it's whatever. Like these are my thoughts. It's not even a song, you know.
Yeah. That's a good point.
With it so much, and I understand that too, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, most definitely. And I was going to leave us off, but we got to do it because you mentioned Brenda a lot. And so Montebello Freestyle, which closes up the album. Brenda Martinez, I think is the same one that you've referenced throughout the interview. Super dope. Another peek inside the humor between you two. And I love the ending singing. I left my heart in Nashville last week. Where Montebello, yes, we just finished this tequila bottle, fucking hilarious. So super dope, man. So shout out to your homegirl. It looks like y'all bring out the best of each other, and it's super fun track. I like it. So
everybody will see a lot more of us because I'm about to be living with her, and we've already been working on living apart. But now that we're gonna be living together, we're gonna be doing a lot more music. So I'm excited for that.
Dope. She's in Santa Cruz now? Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, Santa Cruz is a dope place. Dope. Well, I'm excited for that. And so that wraps up the album. And so I wanted to talk just a couple of videos before we go into the fun questions. And so Cypher Effect, you did this video in 2013 where you're rapping in a record shop. And so, that's right. Super dope. And so I gotta quote you again. You got a lot of dope lines. Coming through the wrecking shop, causing havoc like Rita, El Nina, Katrina, and Sandy. Better check where a man be, because he's about to be a fan of me. I was like, yeah, hell yeah. And I think there were a couple MCs too who are all pretty dope. But you know, it's funny that one line, "Not my head is only big physically, fucking ego. I'm just here to make music history." That was dope. So yeah, you did a bunch of these cipher effects, and so was that? Where was this in the rotation? Was this the first one you did for them, or?
I believe that was the first one I did. I was invited to do, and that one specifically is at a record shop in Oxnard, and I'm proud and happy to say that like I organized that one for Oxnard.
Dope.
With our artists and MCs that I respected and looked up to. Like when I moved 16 years old, and I was not an artist, you know, for like 10 years I lived in Oxnard, and I was just a fan of the hip hop scene there.
Yeah.
And you know, but most of the people in the video, it's like I was just a fan of them, and eventually I got JDS, who does Cypher Effect, and he let me put it together, and we found the record shop, and then he let me select the artists, and it was
dope.
It was dope.
Yeah, well, talk to me about the one you did in 2015. This one's like the freaking female power MC lineup, where you had Nat the Lioness, Ruby Ibarra, and Lucy Camp. Oh man, what a fucking crazy lineup right there. Did you put that one together, or
no? They invited us to do that, but that was really dope because we drove me and Nat drove up with the Cypher Effect team to NorCal and met up with everybody else there.
Okay.
And, it was just really dope. Like they had, you know, they had set up, and we went in there, and obviously Lucy Camp and Ruby Ibarra are fucking just incredible. So like it really was. It was an awesome collective, and I love, you know, I think that's the thing too. Like we were talking about earlier when you asked me like the challenges of being a female MC. One of them, as a female MC, I feel like you're pitted against other females a lot more than like male MCs don't deal with that. You know, like they don't deal with that as much. But as female MCs, for some reason, like we're pitted each other, and it's weird. Like it's weird. But when the thing is like when we get together and we're able to create together, it's like the most incredible thing. And there's nothing but love and respect. So that was fun. Even though I will say, like personally, I at the time that we were doing it, I really didn't like my verse. And
oh man, no.
On a personal level, I was like, oh, like this is shitty.
You're your toughest critic, right?
The experience of it all was amazing, but I personally was like, oh, I don't like this. Like, I don't feel like I'm, you know, doing my best work or whatever. But now looking back, I can look at it and be like, no, I did my thing. Like, whatever, it's cool.
Yeah, I like it. Your voice is very commanding. I like the way you project. You sound very commanding on the mic. I love it. And so, yeah. Hey, so tell me about the videos, though. Are you guys, do you do it in one take, or is it like you do it a couple times?
I mean, the ciphers is multiple takes.
Okay, like, that's what I thought.
Like, well, we'll do multiple takes, but ultimately it ends up being one take. Like, the final of it is one take.
Right.
But multiple takes to get the one take.
Yeah, the different views too, right? Yep, yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's not like cutting in or anything. It's like we'll do multiple takes, but like ultimately the video is one take.
That makes sense.
That's rapping, like we'll get it in one take eventually.
Yeah. It's not pieced together. Yeah.
Yeah. The mic checks are it's one take. You might do my mic checks. I think I did like one or two takes. Wild card, I did in 2 takes.
Yeah.
Because I did one take that was actually good all the way through, and the second take, is the one that they use, but I was late when we did Wild Card last year. I was late, and JDS was like, I don't know if we have time to do it, and I was like, I'm ready. Let's fucking go. I'll get it in one take. Fuck you. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, I've already prepared this, and I went in and we did it in 2 takes.
I love it.
It was the second take. Like,
no,
fuck.
Hey,
quick.
You're a pressure player. Very good under pressure.
I take, like, I really do like I don't know. I appreciate like getting it right, but I also really love just like if there's some way that something is fucked up, I still just kind of want to get something in one take, and I just want to use it, and because that's art to me. Like, art is not always perfect, and I like that, and I appreciate that, and I'm cool with that. Like, I don't need to be perfect all the time.
That's dope. And then again, some choice lines while you on the beach screaming, "Coach, put me in. I'm an all-star with a pen." That's a legend I defend. I love that. And then the hashtag Vagabond Bond. I like that too as well. I think it fits with what you do and just the way you live your life. I love it. Traveling around the world and so on, seeing different things. So super dope. That wraps up all the videos that I reviewed. And then you gave me a preview of a song called Wrong Things. And now is and so that is that for a future project. I don't want to go too much into it.
That on New Year's Day.
Oh, this New Year's.
Yeah.
I love it. Again, you reference you know who. But dope song. I will save it for New Year's, but it's a dope song. Check that out. I can't wait for that to get out. And I won't quote the lyrics because I don't want it to come from me first. So super ill track.
Hey.
What's that? Oh, should I bust a couple? Yeah. Oh man. So again, you referenced your dad, right? No more apologies. I went savage. Lost my father last year. That did some damage. Absolutely, your heroes, right? Lost my lover last year. That's some damage. That was kind of like the playing theme for the song I liked. And then funny how life goes in cycles. Funny how we break them if we decide to. That's another strong one too, right? Sometimes we're a victim of our own, our own self, right? And that's what I saw in that line. So again, just a lot of deep thinking lines. Shout out to you, dope writer.
Yeah.
All right. So I get it from this interview. I could tell you love to write. Yeah, you love to perform, but do you have a preference between the two? Do you have one that you like doing more than the other?
So when I first started, I loved performing. That was like everything that I wanted to do, and I didn't give a fuck about recording at all.
No.
But now I really love the process of being in the studio and creating the music. Like, I really love that now, but I really love performing too. Like, I've been a performer, almost my whole life. I grew up in theater, and I love sharing what I've created with people.
Yeah.
Like, it means a lot to me to find the audience for it and to know that what I'm saying is making an impact. It's like to know that what I'm doing as a release for me and as like a healing process for myself, to know that ultimately that helps people or, make some impact is the most incredible. So I love performing, but I also have really grown to love being in the studio and being in my little creative. Yeah.
No, I love it. And I actually jumped ahead too fast. And so you told me this last minute too, was the 2 songs that you just released, right? 2 features you did. So I wanted to give you just a second to shout out those other dope MCs. So Mike Bless from Oxnard, you did No Love Lost. And then the song with Greaseball, right? Scale. And did you just want to take a couple seconds just to shout them out or just talk about those new singles real quick?
Yes, absolutely. So Mike Bless is absolutely a legend from Oxnard. We've been friends for years and been talking about collabing for years. It's definitely one of those where it's like we've been talking about this for years and finally it happened. And I feel like time with the right song, and I'm really proud of that. We're doing a video for that really soon, so I'm happy. And the other one, Greaseball Scale, like I was on Greaseball's album that he released a few months ago called Dogpile.
Okay.
Song. So that was our first collaboration, and this one that we just released, he actually posted on his story a snippet of the beat, and I was like, send this to me. The man like,
oh,
so
no.
that is one of my favorite verses I've ever written, and an introduction to Bunny Saiko. Like, that verse is very funny.
Yeah, what you go by on that track, I saw you use the Bunny Saiko, so super dope. Well, good. Hey, awesome features that were just released within the last week. And so, we talked a lot about writing, emceeing. And so did you ever dabble in anything else, in any other elements of hip hop? Was it just all emceeing, or did you try anything else? Did you break dance, or did you?
I danced before, but I haven't done any breakdancing.
Yeah.
I am interested in beat making and DJing, but I haven't fully gone into those things. I made my in Egypt last year with One Below.
Dope.
I bought an MPC after I made a beat on his MPC in Egypt.
Whoa.
But work in progress. Like, I'm still learning everything, but I definitely want to produce. I definitely want to make beats. I would love to DJ.
Yeah.
But I'm still like process of doing my thing as an MC and creating music in my own way. But
yeah, I love it. Well, what about, so talked again about just being a female MC, and so for you, is it important to see female representation in hip hop at all, or is that not really a thought in your head? You're just doing your thing?
I want people that are passionate about the culture to be a part of the culture, whether they're male.
Yeah.
And when it empowers women to see other women be a part of the culture and express themselves in that way, then yes, I want, like, absolutely want.
Cool.
That's ultimately the goal through everything. Like, I want people that are about culture to be a part of the culture.
Yeah. Super dope.
Yeah. Whether they're male, because I feel too, like, it's a conversation of like, oh, as a female, like, you're inspiring females, but I feel like I've experienced it where it's like, I'm a female, but I know that I'm inspiring other males too.
Yeah, sure.
To step up their pen game. That's cool too. But absolutely, like, I want to be empowered through anything that they, and through the art form that they're passionate about.
Okay. Awesome. I love it. Well said. All right. So what about when it comes to performing? Do you have any pre-stage rituals? Are there things that you do or do not do before you get on stage?
I do not smoke weed.
That's right.
Or drink a lot. Like, I definitely
I can't drink a lot before I get on either. Yeah.
I like to be fucked up in any way before I perform, for sure. Yeah. Usually I would like to just, like, take a moment with myself. It's funny because I literally, like, usually, like, 5 minutes before I perform, I literally forget everything. Like, I forget all of my lyrics. I forget, like, oh my God, I have a freak out moment of like, holy shit.
Normal.
What I'm
like, oh shit.
Yes, I always have that moment of like, holy shit, I have all this, like, I need to remember fucking 10 songs or whatever. But now I know, it's like, now I understand why people write their set list.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. This, like, reminder. Makes sense. But no, usually I like to take a moment to myself and just kind of center and remind myself that like you're here for a reason and you're doing this, because you're passionate about it and people need you. So just go you do.
No, I don't think you're alone in that sense. And yeah, me too. Even before the show starts, I like to just kind of sit on the stage and look at it while no one's there yet. And yeah, just find that peace moment. So I feel you on that. All right. So I want to applaud you real quick on your entrepreneurial side. And so I know you got a little business that you got going on too. So I love that. Just very, you multitask, right? You got business, music, life, work, and so on. And so I just think your ability to multitask is unreal. And what keeps you motivated to do all these amazing things? Business, music, and life.
I mean, I think you have to like, that's life. Also, like, I've been 14 years old. I've been on my own since 14 years old. It's a necessity for me to figure out what I want to do. So that's a part of it. But, it's just part of what you have to do with life. Figure out what you do, and you figure out ways to monetize it and be an entrepreneur, an artist, and it's just a part of everything, like as hard as it may be at any point in time, I always remain confident in that, like, life is always going to happen whether you enjoy it or not, so you might as well like figure out
figure out how you can win the game, right? I like it. Well, good. Yeah, I love it that you keep busy, and so very inspiring again, as you mentioned. And so I noticed that about you, and I love how you delve into different things. So super cool. So with that, with all the stuff that you do, what do you like to do for fun?
In nature, I'm like hippie at heart, so I just love I love travel, nature. I like to play chess. I like to golf. I missed our interview earlier because I was golfing.
Did you play 18 or did you play half round? 9. Okay. Yeah.
I like to play pool. I like to bowl. I like to, I like sports. I like to go to basketball games and just different things. Like, I like to learn new things constantly too. Like, I enjoy just being challenged and learning new things and reading and writing, and it's all a part of my history, but like also it's different.
So I love it. Sounds like all fun things to do. All right, so with your sense of humor, what is your favorite comedy movie of all time?
And Dumber.
Is it really? Oh, that's a good one. Yep. Okay. All right. Mine's Coming to America. Very good. All right. What's an interesting thing about you that not too many people know about?
Interesting thing about me that not too many people. I was a choreographer for a dance team when I was in junior high.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. All right. Oh, super cool. All right. And so you're going to Santa Cruz where the Mexican food is good. I don't know if it's as good as LA Mexican food, but you got to try a super burrito out in Santa Cruz. But what's your favorite dish?
Mexican food or just in general?
Just in general.
I love Thai food and sushi. So like Thai food, I love curry, and I love sushi.
Good choices. Awesome. All right, and before we close out, all right, so this is the Christmas edition, right? So I gotta ask a question about Christmas. All right, so here's your Christmas question. All right, tell me MCs that have done songs about Christmas. I'll take 2 examples if you can figure out. If not, all right, we gave it a shot. It's all good.
Burner and Wiz Khalifa.
They did. Who's the first one?
Burner.
Oh, I've never heard Burner's song. Wiz Khalifa has. I always use Run DMC, right? Christmas in Hollis is the.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good. You got one. So awesome. That qualifies. Well, good with that. Sounds like, man, I don't know. I don't know many much more after that. I think DMX did like a rendition of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That's pretty viral, right? That was pretty hilarious. So good. Well, hey, thanks. That was fun. So, are there any projects that you want to highlight before we close this thing out?
I think I'm going to release an EP, but I'm not sure. But fuck it, if I do, if I don't, I don't. But
All right.
I'm saying wrong things on New Year's Day, but I might also be releasing an EP called "Things for the New Year" that and has 7 other songs that I have ready to release.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Well, with that, what's the best place to find your music? And is there anybody you want to shout out before we close this thing up?
Bonita Azul on Instagram. Follow me there. Shout out Bacchus, who's letting me literally use his house to do this interview.
Yeah.
Oh, Cabarcier. Shout out Ill Enough, who's my creative partner and videographer that has literally been traveling around the world with me for the last year. We have a documentary coming out next year about all our travels. Look out. Shout out Danny Zico, who engineered my album and helped me through that entire process and continues to be a creative and musical partner to me. Shout out Brenda Martinez, who is soon to be my new roomie in Santa Cruz and my musical partner there. Shout out Mescal from EOTR for starting the process of my last album and continuing to be a creative partner to me. Shout out my best friend Coy. I was with her last night. I'm not shouting her out.
Yeah, that would be not right. Well, hey, you're holding it down for LA. Good luck on the move to Santa Cruz. You're an amazing lyricist, and again, like I've told you throughout the interview, you're an amazing and phenomenal storyteller. Love it when you perform all the videos that I see, and I look forward to all your projects and just continue to watch you do your thing. So thank you again. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.